guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Vanessa. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a big ass book unhaul. I'm going to be showing you all of the books that I'm unhauling. These are books that I have either read and maybe, didn't necessarily hate them, but I'm probably not going to reread them. Some of them I haven't even read and I just feel like I won't ever get to them. They just may not be my thing. Maybe I've had some of these books on my shelves for a long time and just feel like I've maybe outgrown the taste I had a couple years ago that I thought I was going to get around to reading these and I just never did. So I'm going to go through all the books and talk a little bit about why I'm unhauling some of these. I think for the most part that I put these in order by genre perhaps, but they might be kind of mixed up. I'm not really sure. So we'll just give it a shot. The first book that I'm unhauling is Throne of Glass. So I have one of the OG covers and you're probably like, why are you getting rid of this? It's because I have two copies now. So one of my friends, Katy, actually gifted me a copy because she had extras. I was on a search to find the other original covers and I mistakenly bought this thinking that I was buying Assassin's Blade. So I accidentally ended up with two. So I will be unhauling this as I don't need two of the original covers. I will be unhauling this beautiful cover of The Coven by Harper L. Woods. This is a Fairy Loot edition, so it is gorgeous. I read this book. I got this as a ARC on NetGalley, and let me just show you guys the inside. It's beautiful. Like, I enjoyed the book, okay? This is such a beautiful cover. I love it. Yeah, if I liked it more, I would keep it, but I remember not really caring about it that much. Like, I liked it. It was a good time, but I don't remember much about it. And I remember also reading the second book because I got an ARC of that one as well. Here's the back, by the way. And I thought it was okay. Like, again, I gave both of them 4 stars when I read them at the time, so I clearly liked them, but I don't know if I like them enough to keep them. So this one does come with some beautiful art and it's signed by the author. I'm also going to include the little postcard that comes with it. So if you're interested in this book, it will be listed on my Pango soon. I read this book earlier this year as part of my booktuber taste test with Rainy over at Rainy Blue Reads. I thought this book was just okay. I'm not going to reread it, but I hope somebody else enjoys it. I picked up this book at a used book warehouse that I used to live by, and it is signed by the author. I feel like I may have seen this as like a Fairy Loot edition from back in the day. I'm not really sure though. It does come with this little insert that is signed by the author. It's also signed here. But yeah, I just have no interest in reading this book, so I think it's time for me to let it go. Looks like it might be interesting, but I don't think it's for me. This is Dragon Fruit, the Book of the Month edition. I had a great time reading this book. It was more YA, but I think that I'm not going to reread this one, so I'm okay with letting it go. Silly me happens to buy too many books and not be able to keep up with what she brings in and ends up buying 2 copies of the same book. So, Zodiac Academy number 6. If you're looking for the original covers, this is one of the original covers, so it's going to be going on my Pango soon. Oh, speaking of books that Vanessa buys twice, what happened here? So I did read this book and I enjoyed it. I just don't think I'm going to reread it. I did an author interview with Tiffany Roberts and had a great time. If you're interested in watching that interview, I will post it down below in the description. But I have 2 copies of this book that I'm going to get rid of, and I will probably continue this series, but I might continue it on my Kindle instead, or even audiobook. I just don't think I need copies of these books. Another Tiffany Roberts book that I enjoyed, but I'm just making room for other things on my shelf, is Darkest Craving. This is The Cursed Ones book 1. I think that was all of my more fantasy books. So moving on, I have one dark academia book that I will be unhauling. This is the Atlas 6. No problem with it. I just have not heard the best things about other books in this series and I don't really have an interest in continuing on. I thought the story was just okay, but there were honestly too many characters. Too many characters is too much for me, so I will pass on this. Plus, I have many other series that I could get to. Red Rising. So again, I thought this book was great. I listened to the dramatized version of the audiobook and it was great. There were some parts where it lulled, but I mean, I had a great time overall. overall. I just don't think it is a series necessarily for me that I want to spend my time investing in, because I really want to love a series, you know? And again, it wasn't that I had any issue with this book, I just didn't love it. And some people might hate me for this next one. Another series that I had no problem with, but I just don't think it's for me. So The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. This was a great book. I just feel like maybe I'm not a huge sci-fi person, and I don't really bring in a lot of sci-fi, so I'm totally fine unhauling this and finding room for other books that I will love on my shelves. I have a couple of mystery, thriller, and horror books that I'm willing to part ways with. So I run a book club called Host for Prose with my bestie Bree, and one of the books that we read was What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. It was a great book. It was not my favorite, as you'll see in the book club ranking video that I did, which I will list up in the cards above. Wasn't my favorite. I mean, it was fine. Like, I gave it 4 stars, but will I reread it again? Probably not, so I'm happy parting ways with it. I also had a great time reading The Searcher by Tana French, and this was a book that I buddy read with Brittany over at Brittany Loves Reading. We had a great time reading this, and I know that one of our friends, Leandra, ended up reading The Hunter, which I never got to, but this one definitely is one of those books that I probably wouldn't have picked this up if it weren't for a buddy read, just because it's much like slower paced. It kind of feels like, if I remember correctly, like a general fiction kind of book with this mystery element. So again, perfectly fine, but not interested in rereading it. And another book that I actually really enjoyed, They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. And again, I'm just not really interested in rereading this. I have a couple of books that I think are more like general fiction or lit fic or historical. I'm not really sure. I don't know why I have them, to be honest. I think I just impulsively bought things and I shouldn't have, and I just didn't read them. So we have The Street by Anne Petrie. Don't know anything about it. Not really interested to read it. Same with Atomic Love by Jenny Fields. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of at Target buying books for no reason and bought this. I bought a bunch of books at a used bookstore, and this was one of them. I'm not really interested in supporting this author. You can kind of go Google why she's problematic. Not my favorite, so I'm gonna unhaul this book. I've actually unhauled a lot of her other books already. This book was recommended to me by somebody, and I read probably a good chunk of it. Yeah, actually, I read about 28 of the 100 essays, and I thought it was okay. I just kind of got bored, and I don't know, I don't think I am really interested in continuing the 101 essays that will change the way you think. They made me think, but I don't know if they changed the way I think. My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Atessa Moshfegh. Hated this book. I mean, let's be honest, I read this for my Weird Girl Lit vlog, and it just kind of felt like this girl who did nothing but slept for a year. And I was like, girl, do something. I'm so bored of you. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing that video, I will link that down below, up above. Go find this on my Pango shop. Similarly, hated this book too, The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. I don't know how to say his name. Thought I would try to read this classic, this modern classic. It was not for me. I could not. I was so bored. I did not see what the hype was about, if there was ever any hype about this. Not really interested in reading Sally Rooney, so she's just getting unhauled. Sorry. I don't know. I think I was so turned off by the first book I read by her, and I was like, it's not gonna really, I just don't think I like this author's writing style, so unhaul. I'm not really sure what genre this goes in. I'm not really interested in looking it up. I think I bought this at the used bookstore as well, but I just don't have any interest in reading it, so I'm gonna be unhauling. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine, and I'm completely fine with that. Okay, 2 books that I absolutely loved. So we have Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I gave this 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. Definitely took me by surprise, but I just don't feel like I'm going to pick it up. I have so much that I have on my shelves to read that I'm not really interested in rereading this story. I'm much more likely to reread a fantasy book than a like general fiction, mystery, thriller, whatever genre you want to put this in. Similarly, I really liked Black Girls Must Die Exhausted by Jane Allen. This was a fantastic book. I am interested in continuing on in the series, but I saw that my library has the other ones, so I think I'm just going to check them out through the library. It did win a couple of giveaways, either on like Goodreads or maybe got sent books by authors or publishers. So I have Such Good Friends by Stephen Greco. This is I think a historical fiction. I'm not really sure. I don't know why I requested this, so I'm unhauling this. Sorry. I know you're supposed to read your arcs that you get, especially if they're physical ones, but I don't know why I requested this one, to be honest. And then I did kind of browse through this one. This one was pretty interesting. This is a, I would say like a rather interesting book about the universe explained with a cookie. There's lots of pictures. It's very like scientific, but very dumbed down. So yeah, I was sent this, I think, by the author or potentially the publisher. I'm not really sure, but I'm not going to reread it or keep it on my shelves. Another book club book that I did enjoy, but I don't foresee myself rereading, We Are All So Good at Smiling by Amber McBride. Fantastic book, highly recommend. Definitely worth a read. Another book club book that I also enjoyed, Haunted Ever After by Jen DeLuca. I just don't see myself rereading this. I will probably read the other ones that come out in this series, but I might more so check them out from the library. I'm trying to be a little bit more selective with the books that I'm bringing in. That way I don't have overcrowded shelves. Like you can kind of see right here. These books behind me right here on this shelf are actually double stacked at the moment. They are not all the way back like these ones here. And I just noticed I've had my phone back here the whole time. Next up, I think I'm going to talk about all of my book of the month books that I'm getting rid of. These aren't in any particular order at all. It's like I've read these, don't feel like rereading them, and I just need more space on my shelves for things that I really love and want to reread. So, rapid fire here. She Started It by, I think it's Sean Gilbert. This Spells Love by Kate Robb. Brie, don't hate me. Annie Bot by Sierra Greer. I really liked this one. I'm not getting rid of it because I didn't like it. I just won't reread it. Honey by Isabel Banta. The Ministry of Time by Kaylee Bradley. The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin. This one, the ending definitely got me. I liked the book. It was great for a mystery thriller kind of book, but I was like, dang. Good. The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas and Familia by Lauren E. Rico. I also had a random book from a little free library that I picked up, and I don't know why. I feel like sometimes I go somewhere and I'm like, I have to get something. So I went to this little free library, and the only thing that I saw that was kind of interesting was this book. Jessica Simpson's open book memoir. I don't really care about her, so sorry. Getting rid of it. Okay, and the last couple of piles that I have here are all romance books. And some of these I would say are either because they're YA, just don't care about them. I just ready for different things. I've evolved as a romance reader, I would say. So, Emily Henry, Book Lovers, Beach Read, People We Meet on Vacation. These are the only 3 Emily Henry books that I own. Nothing wrong with Emily Henry. I've enjoyed her books. I haven't read her newest one though. I did read Happy Place, but I never got it. I just don't think I love her enough to want to keep her on my shelves. Also, I feel a little bit of resentment towards her, and not like she's not doing it, but I feel like she's always winning the Goodreads Choice Awards. So I'm like, like, why? There's other authors who I feel like deserve to win more, but she keeps winning. And it's like, she keeps winning because people obviously keep reading her books, and she is a good writer, like nothing wrong with that, but I would rather see somebody like Kennedy Ryan win. So no offense, Emily Henry, don't come for me. So I'm just gonna unhaul her books. Picked this up randomly, don't think I'll read it. Postcards from Summer. It is a pretty chunky book. I thought I would read it, but I think this might be more YA, so it's not really appealing to me. I'm not really drawn to it. Okay, similarly, I believe all 3 of these books are YA, so I don't know the order. Love and Luck, Love and Olives, Love and Gelato. I bought these with the intention of reading them over the summer. It's been a couple years, so I think it's time to get rid of them because I'm just not gravitated towards picking them up. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Again, enjoyed it, but I'm not the target age range for this book. Another Lynn Painter, The Love Wager. I honestly couldn't tell you anything about this book, so I probably would reread it and be like, oh, it's a new book, you know? But yeah, I read it at some point. Okay, Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I remember enjoying the book, no problem with it, just not interested in rereading it. Same thing with Meet Me at the Lake. I feel like the books by this author I'm just more interested in getting from the library. So again, nothing wrong with the books or the writing. I just don't see myself rereading them, and I don't want to spend the money on them anymore. I feel like that's what I'm just saying over and over again. A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. Really liked it. Not rereading. I'm pretty sure I've DNF'd this series. I read the first and second books. Not a fan of the second book, and I just didn't have the energy to want to get into this book. It is much bigger, and Lauren Asher is very hit or miss for me. I've really liked her new series though. So I really liked this series, the Love, whatever, Lakefront Billionaire. So don't care about the Dreamland Billionaires, but I like the Lakefront ones. So I am keeping this one, getting rid of this one. Okay, I have a couple of Christina Lauren books that I'm going to be getting rid of. I really enjoyed them. I just feel like I'm not gonna reread them. So Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, and then The Unhoneymooners. I feel like these are books that I would just check out from the library and be perfectly fine with that. Don't come for me, Katy. I know you recommended this book to me, and it is gorgeous. It is beautiful. Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I have sadly forgotten a lot of it, but it wasn't my favorite. I think I gave it like 3 or 3.5 stars. I do have a couple of other books by Julie Soto to read. Oh, and I did meet Julie Soto in person, so I got this one signed. So it is a signed copy. Oh, okay. Goodreads giveaways that Vanessa entered and won, and for some reason has no idea why she would request these kinds of books. The Summer Skies. I think sometimes I just request when I'm bored, not really reading the synopsis of things. I need to stop doing that. So enjoy, whoever gets this. I remember reading Role Playing during the Amazing Readathon in like June, I think is when it was. I liked this book. I just, again, don't foresee myself rereading it. It's a very cute cover. I love that. I would totally display it on my shelves just because it was cute, but I need to make room for more things on my shelves. Especially because I will be going to several book conventions this year and I have a problem clearly. I'm trying to like get ahead of the problem so that I don't have more of a problem when I'm trying to find space later for these things. Okay, I'm pretty sure I picked this book up at a used bookstore, so it's Another Piece of My Heart by Jane Green. Oh no, I actually got this off of like Facebook Marketplace when I was like just starting my book journey again, getting back into reading. I think somebody was getting rid of a ton of these Jane Green books and I was like, okay, sure. It looks cute. It looks like something I would maybe read, but it looks like it's more like chick lit and I don't really care about chick lit. Got a couple of books by Krista and Becca Ritchie that I am going to be unhauling. So I did read Addicted to You. I thought it was okay. This was just very toxic, and not toxic in like a good way. I was just kind of bored. All I felt like through the whole book was go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy. I don't feel like doing that throughout the entire series. So I did end up buying Ricochet because I thought I was gonna read it. I don't think I'm interested anymore. And then I think I preemptively bought Bad Reputation as well. This is, I think, part of the same world. I'm not really sure. Oh, it might be like a spin-off. I don't know. It goes with the series in some way, but I don't care about these people anymore. The characters, not the authors. I did love the smut in this book, but I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's I haven't thought about rereading this, so I think it's time to let it go. Read this book, thought it was okay. I did annotate it, so there are a lot of my writings in here. I did some song lyrics, just all kinds of stuff. This was part of the bookworm box that Colleen Hoover had done, but I did a really cool thing here at the beginning. I put this little slippy thing here. So if you wanted to like pass it off to people, you could see like the history of it. Finally, I have 2 dark romances that I am going to be unhauling. So I bought this at a used bookstore. Little Stranger by Lee Rivers. I don't think I'm interested in reading the other book in this series. Shoot, I may have read it, but I don't remember anything about it. But I just remember this one had too much little brother, little sister stuff, even though they're not biologically related. It's just kind of weird, so I am gonna unhaul this. And then I read Once You're Mine by Morgan Bridges. I did end up getting this as an ARC, and then I didn't realize that I actually owned a physical copy of it already, but I read it, didn't think it was good, so we're ending on a low note here. Anyways, that is my book unhaul. Let's see how many books that I'm unhauling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. 64 books unhauled out of my life. Now I've just got to go post them on my Pango. By the time this video goes live, I think I will be also letting the Pango shop go live. I think I can hide the books that I'm posting until I'm ready to put them all out there. So that way like the video and the Pango shop goes live all at once. So it's kind of like a free-for-all for everyone. But yeah, I am happy to be unhauling these. I don't think any I was like super on the fence about. And I am excited to see what I'm going to be bringing in because I know that I have a lot of Christmas gifts and things that I haven't opened yet. So I will be hauling some stuff very soon. If you got to the end of this video today and have nothing to say, leave me like either a book stack emoji or something to do with like money, because I'm over here trying to get some extra money by selling my books and potentially bringing in other books. I do like to use my Pango bucks to try to get some of the books that I'm really interested in. Like for example, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I am trying to collect the original covers of Throne of Glass, and they're kind of expensive. I'm getting to the ones that are like going for $140, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Before you go, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already. And if you're interested in checking out some of my more recent videos, I will leave them up on the screen here. But I thank you guys so much for clicking on today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!